Thanks for coming, Norm. We really appreciate you taking the time this afternoon to chat with us, and we'd like just to start out with you just telling us in your own words your journey and
Thank you. I appreciate that. On the 10th of August 2011, my wife June went to the doctor and she had to get a certificate for driving. While the other doctor examined her and she says, have you got any problems? And she says, well, actually I'm a little bit short of breath. Well, the doctor checked her over and said, you're not getting a lot of air into your right lung. I'll send you for an x-ray. This was arranged and June had an x-ray and they found that she had cancer on her right lung and that she was hardly getting any air into the lung. She went to Wollongong Hospital and a group of 5 specialists talked about her case and they said that she would have to have radiotherapy, then chemotherapy. The radiotherapy was the most important part because if they could stop the tumours from growing, that was okay. Now, up until that time, June had been driving, she was playing bridge, she was going down to Brisbane to the opera, and she was shopping, and she was going about like a normal person. But she was still confident. She was a pragmatic person. When she heard that she was going to die, they gave her 13 months, she said, I've had a good life. The doctor came to see her and asked her how she was, and she says, I don't want to get chemotherapy. And the doctor says, I think that is the right decision. Your quality of life is more important. So June agreed and the doctor agreed, and the doctor said that she would get some help. And she contacted Sitanami. They also got oxygen for June because she was on oxygen all the time. And the Sitanami came and they gave her a walking frame. They counselled her and they counselled me and counselled Julie, and they helped us. At first the nurses were coming in 1 day a week, and then as June got worse they came in 2 days, and eventually they were coming in every day. She was getting some pain and decided that she would have to get morphia, and they put a drip on her here. Now she was kept perfectly free of pain. She was no pain at all. Well, prior to this, while she was still talking lively, I had to ask her what she wanted done with her ashes and what sort of arrangements did she want for a funeral. Well, she didn't want a minister. A friend of mine is a lay preacher, and I said, would he do it? And she said yes. And she didn't want a traditional hymns and all that. She wanted some music, so there's a little Welsh girl that Jones, Emma Jones, I think Jones, but anyway, I played the CD and she picked out 3 tunes, and the last one is Time to Say Goodbye. Well, anyway, arranged for those to be played during the funeral service, and when they pulled the curtains, that was the last piece of music. Now, the funeral, that went by, tears, and that, but it went over, and after your cup of tea and that, you talk and people talk to you, and you feel quite sociable, and you put on a brave face. But a week later, I was at home, sitting in the house at night, after I've been out shopping and doing gardening and that, and I'm sitting there, and I think to myself, what am I doing? I look at the wife's photograph and you get choked. The life, 45 years of your life has gone out the door, and you never felt anything like it. There's nothing. I could prepare for a person dying and you accept that, but the loneliness after it, no. Well, Jude, she said you should go to counselling. Jude's a counsellor here, and she came out and she speaks to Julie, and I came to counsel, and when I came there was roughly 7 in my group, and we were the weepiest shower of people you could imagine. We couldn't get around the table once without somebody having tears or being choked. And as I say, this went on for 5 months. It was 2 days a month, on a Tuesday morning and a Thursday afternoon. And we came to that, and we found it helped because you're talking. The council asks a question and everybody gives an answer that goes round. And they were saying, you're going to sell your house? What are you going to do with this? Or my husband bought all those sort of things. And what will I do with them? I sell them. I don't know whether I'll go on a holiday or will stay at home. And what do you do with the ashes? June wanted her ashes scattered at Lady Mary Cairncross Park. But she wanted Elizabeth, who's her friend that lives in New Zealand, to be present when that was done. And she was coming across in August. So I had 4.5 kilos of ashes in a little box sitting in the house waiting till August. And we were talking what to do with them, and I said, oh, I'm going to scatter them. And then this time we're a bit brighter, like, you know, and I says, I'll have to do it very early in the morning. Because if you go and you scatter ashes and somebody's having a sandwich, you know, you might get some grit in it. You know, because that can happen, you know, because the wind's blowing. So that got a bit of a laugh, so it showed that we were gradually getting a bit more life into us.
Yeah.
Then, after 7 months, I realised I was living in the past. She wasn't going to come back. And I had a future, and life's good, and it's worthwhile living, and you're meant to live it. It's a gift, so enjoy it. So I am now enjoying my life. The Sitanami, the nurses and the counsellors, they help you. And talk. When you talk, they've all experienced exactly the same as you have. And there is stages that you all go through. You might get them in different order, but everyone goes through it. And that gives you support, and it brings you on. And I would like to thank Sitanami for everything they've done for me and my friends.
Wonderful. Thank you, Norm.